Good morning, Sweetwater number 1. This is Superintendent Kelly McGovern, and we wanted to take a short amount of your time just to provide a quick district update as to how things have went this last week, and then also share with you some plans as we move forward. The first thing, as most of you all know, we've received from Governor Gordon and our state health officer that schools are to be closed through April 17th. And at that time, I'm sure we will receive more information as to how things will proceed in the future. But for now, we need to plan through April 17th on Friday. The positive thing is Sweetwater number 1 has implemented a plan from the very first day to support our community, our staff, and our students for their safety. And with that premise, we wanted to share how this last week has went in Sweetwater number 1. The first thing, as you know, we have been implementing our meal plan for breakfast and lunch over the last week for our families. This chart that we have right here will illustrate to you how many meals we've been serving each day. Roughly on average, when school is in session inside our schools, we have roughly 2,800 meals that we serve. Starting on Monday, we had 2,600. And throughout the week, you can see the increase in meals going all the way from Tuesday through Friday. At the end of this last week, we had a total of 18,167 meals. That's breakfast and lunch that were served to the kids in our community. And that is roughly a 30% increase over the average that we would normally serve if school was in session. And we know and recognize that with school continuing in this online learning platform, that the need for meals for our kids are very important. We'll continue that, and we'll have that ready to go each week, and we prepare for that to increase as time goes on. It's important for the district to feed our kids and make sure that they're in a good place to learn as we work through this unprecedented time. We also wanted to share with you a couple of photos of our staff on how hard they've been working to make this happen for our community. The first photo is in one of our school cafeterias as we practice distancing, but at the same time, we're preparing the meals for all of our kids to get ready to go. You can see our tables are full of different colored bags. One is for breakfast, one is for lunch. But really the undertaking of what that looks like to get things ready to go before we load those. And on our next photo, this is what it looks like when we roll those out. So we couldn't do it without our staff. That's nutrition services, our transportation, and then also our school staff in the next week are going to be adding in this effort. So with many hands, it makes the load light. But on this second picture here, you can see how we're using our district buses to get the meals out for our families. And then they are able to come up to the back of the buses and then grab the meals that they need for their families. So again, this is a huge effort on behalf of our nutrition services to make things work for the kids in our community. The second piece of information that I'd like to share with everyone is we recognize the amount of Parent Square information that's coming out to all of you, and we're going through a huge change process, and with that becomes a lot of fear that we're working through, but also the fact that things are new and it's going to take time to get things up and running, to get the equipment, the devices that your students have, to make sure that they're able to function the best that they can when they work with their teachers. So as this moves forward, last week being our first week, we would like to see that information streamline a little bit. We know it can be overwhelming for all of you, for your student, for our parents, and then also the other contacts that receive the Parent Square information. So again, we hope to streamline that, get that down a little bit as we work through. It's new for everyone, so thank you for being patient on that as we try to get that information out as quickly as we can, but also recognize how much of a learning curve that might be for all of us as we work through. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Stephanie Tolman, our Chief Information Officer, and we'd like to share some pieces for you on the technology end. Stephanie.
Hello, everybody with Sweetwater One. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, living together in the same house, all closed in. I know it's been entertaining at the Tolman house. I'd just like to share with you some of the statistics from this past week. On Tuesday, Technology Tuesday, with the tech department and school staff, we distributed 3,055 devices to pre-K through 6th grade students. That includes our outlying schools as well as the in-town schools and Head Start. From the 25th through the 27th, so Wednesday through Friday of this week, my department closed 342 staff tickets and 35 student tickets. They spent approximately 20 hours on chat support on Wednesday, the 25th alone, and over 9 hours on phone support with the hotlines. We appreciate everyone's patience as we've been working through this new system, identifying new ways to support our students and our parents and get those passwords changed. And we really, really appreciate the patience you guys have shown and the kindness as you've worked with my staff. You'll see in some of the pictures we have to share a little bit of what this process looked like. This first picture is the building tech support staff in one of the schools getting devices ready to go, social distancing. And we have some of the folks who are housed out of the cab on a Google Meet. So we were learning all of this information at the same time everybody else in the district was. In the second picture we have, this is in the East Side Elementary cafeteria. This was on Friday before everybody came back. This is the technology department and various leadership at the cab working together to stuff the envelopes, put the labels on the bags, put the labels on the envelopes, and make sure every student had everything they needed to be successful beginning on Wednesday when we started our online learning. Again, I really want to thank everybody for their support and their patience. The positive feedback that my staff has received from some of our students out there as they've worked with them through chat support really makes all the difference. All the communication I've received from district staff and community members about how thankful they are that we were ready for this process and that we had everything in place that we needed to be successful. Again, thank you for your patience, and we look forward to continuing to support you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Just some final things as we get ready to close. What we've been going through and the undertaking that we have would not be possible without the efforts of many, many people. And we want to make sure that we acknowledge all of those that have played a valuable part into this process. Those include All West Communications, Wyoming.com, Bridger Valley Electric. They have provided some services for those that are in need, and we couldn't do it without them. We couldn't make that instruction go in to our homes without the kindness and the acts that they have displayed in the last couple of weeks. We'd also like to thank Western Wyoming Beverages. They've donated approximately 2,000 drinks for water or other drinks to our students as they pick up meals. So we'd like to say thank you to Western Wyoming Beverages and to the Rock Springs Police Department for their safety efforts with their crossing guards, with the parking patrol when we serve meals, and also for our playgrounds as we strongly encourage families to stay away from the playgrounds and the equipment at this time. Parents, most importantly, we'd like to thank you along with our staff. As we said, going through change like this, it has happened so quickly that we couldn't do it without your patience and for the way that you care about your students, and we appreciate your sincerity with our staff. And to all of Sweetwater #1 staff, all of our school staff and our departments, We could not make this possible without the hours that you have put in daily. We thank you for that. And most importantly, for our students, we know that sometimes technology is easier for you and it's a little bit harder for us on the adult side, but be patient with us, students. We'll get that going for you. And I really believe at the outset of this, our education will be better on that side of things. I'd also like to close with a public request on behalf of the district, and that is to please abide by the public safety announcements. Please stay home if you can at all times. For our students, K-12, regardless of age, we know it's difficult to all be under the same roof, but we know that the most important thing during this time is to keep our families healthy, to keep you safe. When we return, when that comes, we want everyone to be in a good place, and we've got to have you be healthy so that we can move forward with education. So thank you for abiding by our safety efforts as much as you can. It really will make a difference, and we all make a difference as we move forward. One final thought, we have a school board meeting on Monday, and we've had some questions about that. The information that's come forward for all of you, we will share a link in case our community would like to view that meeting and participate virtually through that. It is a special board meeting. There's some items that are coming before our Board of Education. We're asking for approval, but please know this meeting was scheduled before all of the online learning was coming through. And so we've had to juggle that a little bit with our distancing efforts as we comply as well. But that meeting on there, we'll have a link that will come out. So if anyone in our community would like to participate virtually, you'll be able to do that. And again, let us know if you've got any questions. Reach out to us. We're here to help, and we're learning right alongside everyone. So with that, thank you for the efforts that our community is doing, and we wish everyone well, and please stay safe.